Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brendan Plays. This is Total Extreme Wrestling for our All Elite Wrestling Say. We are in week 1 of December as we are moving ahead to our next pay-per-view, which is Royal Flush over in London. Obviously, we've got some storylines all set, including the big America and England storyline. You know you just had to do that generic represent your country storyline, but we're going to do it anyways. Why not? But we are in a new month. We are looking to move ahead. We are thinking about doing a Winter is Coming episode of Dynamite, and I'm not sure if I want to do it the same week as the London show, or if I want to do it the week before and just have one extra week of build to get to that London show, which I think might be a better idea. If that was the case, then that needs to be next week. So week 1 of December, next week is Winter is Coming, then it'll be the week of the Royal Flush show. So that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. Speaking of the Royal Flush show, I was having a look around of who is our most popular wrestlers in England, in particular in London. And it was one man that is far more popular than majority of our roster, who I thought, okay, I actually wanted to get him back in the ring at some point soon, just because he's been doing it in real life. And I thought, okay, how can we get him back in the ring? I really didn't know how. But this is my excuse. Sting he's apparently got 75 popularity in England, which I think may be the highest in the entire roster. And I thought to myself, okay, I just can't waste that opportunity. We've got to get him in there. So I thought, okay, Sting, he wants one last match in England. Perfect. It's easy. It could be anyone. It doesn't have to be an amazing match. It doesn't have to be anything. It just needs to be Sting out there, making an appearance, having a match. The problem was, who does he wrestle? Does he wrestle a mid-card guy? Does he wrestle a lower card guy to try and, make someone? Or do we try and put him against the top tier talent that can make Sting look great, have a really good match? And considering I'm really worried that the Royal Flush show is going to suck badly, I figured we need to try and have the best possible match from Sting to try and make this show good. So we've given him Christian Cage. Reason being, Christian's a heel, Sting's a babyface. Christian's a guy that can take a loss to Sting, no big deal. I don't think they've ever wrestled each other, so that's also another little factor as well. So there's a few little things, and Christian, he's trying to prove that at his age, he's still the best in the business. Well, you can easily say, well, Sting's older than Christian, and he's better than Christian, so that could easily be a little storyline that we can work with. But that's what we're going to have to do, because at the moment, I'm very, very concerned. I mean, even like CM Punk, he's obviously very popular in England, but only 79. And, that's good, but it's not massive. Bryan Danielson's the other most popular guy. He's got 77, 78. So I think Sting is slightly lower than those two. So that's kind of how popular Sting is over there. And nobody else on the roster, not even Chris Jericho, is anywhere near that. So that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out, who's the best guy to have on this card. And I've been wanting to get Sting back in the ring. He's had 2 matches for us, and Sting has been pretty good in both of his matches. He had a 75 rated performance in the Blood and Guts match. That's right, he was in Blood and Guts. And he had a 79 rated match against MJF in the cinematic match. So he's actually been really good, considering, and he's got nearly 80 popularity in the United States, high 70s. So we need to probably utilize that a little bit better. At the moment, we don't have Sting and Darby Allin as a team, as a duo. Instead, we went with Darby Allin and Malachi Black, because Sting is technically our general manager. So that's kind of what the role that we've brought Sting in. I didn't think he'd be wrestling in real life, only in cinematic matches. I had no expectation for him to get back in the ring properly. So that's why I put him in the GM role. But yeah, he's doing some crazy, crazy things. So that's what we want to try and do. We want to try and get Sting on the card. Obviously, being a new month, let's check out some things. Financial side of things, we gained $1.2 million, which was our second best month so far. The biggest difference has been our merchandise sales. We sold $2 million in merchandise. Now, if you remember, what time did CM Punk join the company? Was it around August, July? Well, you look at the merchandise sales. August, 750,000, July, 750,000. In September, which was probably CM Punk's first real month in the company, 1.2 million. October, 1.5 million. November, 2 million. And you're thinking, well, is this all CM Punk? Yes, he nearly sold $1 million on his own. $853,000 in merchandise from CM Punk. $166,000 from Bryan Danielson. Cody Rhodes is up there too, $143,000, and the rest of the roster insignificant, not a hell of a lot. So that's the impact that CM Punk has had on our roster. He's just moving merchandise like crazy, making us a lot of money. So he is certainly worth the big contract, and he is certainly worth pushing into a higher role in the company. Now, some other things going around. Jon Moxley, he's now back, so we gave him a few weeks off, and he's now back. I don't know what we're going to do with him. I'm thinking of actually extending his break and maybe having him return at potentially Winter is Coming or the Royal Flush show. So he's kind of out of the mix at the moment. Joey Janela, he's gone from the company, so we've been able to job him out pretty badly. Once upon a time, he had pretty decent popularity. 28 in every area, 46 in this 47 at one point in Tri-State. Yeah, well now it's down to 18 in every area and 36 in Tri-State. So we did our job. We certainly jobbed out poor Joey Janela. So now he has no job, no one cares about him, and good riddance, who cares? Mel, she's also gone as well, so she's another one who just, I think she's still on the roster in real life on the AEW website, so that's why we've hung on to her this long, but I don't know if she ever wrestles in real life. I have no idea. But 35, she's not popular, she can barely work, she kind of sucks, so we had to move her on there. Some other things, Kairi Sane, she rejoined WWE, so she's gone back to WWE, so that's a good get for them. Shelton Benjamin, he's left WWE. Andrade was loaned out to Ring of Honor. So I was considering maybe trying to adjust Andrade's CMLL contract so we could have him in our company. But in saying that, I really don't enjoy Andrade in AEW at all, so I have really no interest in bringing him in and trying to have that act in our company. I'd rather, invest in some other guys. So I'm still happy for him to do his thing somewhere else, not with us. So as bad as that may sound, still no interest for me to have Andrade with us. Okay, AEW Dynamite, let's jump into it on the pre-show. Big Swole and Serena Deeb one-on-one. Obviously, Big Swole's on her way out. Serena Deeb grabs a win to hopefully boost her popularity. 36 rated match. Sabian and Ogogo teamed up to take on Lee Johnson and Brock Anderson, also on the pre-show. For a 35 rated match, give Sabian 40, Ogogo 32. Still not a lot of confidence there that those two are going to do that well in their upcoming big match with Park, but we'll see how they go. On the main show, Sting comes out and he opens up the show and says he wants to have one last match in London. Christian, he comes out and wants to be his opponent. So we're setting up for the big Sting match in London. 74 for that segment. Not too bad. Proud and Powerful took on the Dark Order for a 59 rated match. That's a pretty good. Ortiz 66, Santana 68. So look, the Santana and Ortiz, Proud and Powerful, we have really underutilized them, and same in real life. They're a team that I feel like should be tag team champions, should be right up there as one of the most important teams in AEW. The FTR, the Lucha Bros, Proud and Powerful, maybe Jurassic Express, those four teams should be right up there as four of the most important teams in AEW, and I don't think any of them are really there. In real life, the Lucha Bros probably are. For us, maybe not. FTR for us, I think are. In real life, maybe not. So there's a few teams that are just a bit hit and miss. Proud and Powerful, both in real life and both for us, are just unimportant. No one cares about them. So that's something that's a bit of a shame because they're performing so well. They get a win over the Dark Order here. We had Jake Hager come out to distract and help grab the win. So it's going to be difficult because the Dark Order, I don't think, are going to be able to beat anybody in this feud, but they're just going to probably cause be a bit of a nuisance, I suppose, for the Inner Circle. 59 for the match is good. Post-match, the Dark Order bring the fight to the Inner Circle after an after-match assault. So Chris Jericho and the rest of the Inner Circle are out there, and the Dark Order come out and fend them off. So pretty good. 57. I wanted to really get everybody involved in this segment to try and, I want to try and elevate the Dark Order with this one. So I want to try and make sure that they're getting involved, they're being rated on anything to try and boost up their popularities. So that's why this segment did drag a little bit. 57, it's a bit, average. But the point is, we're trying to improve the Dark Order. Jade Cargill defeated Kira Hogan for 34. No chemistry between these two. So we wanted a bit of a whatever you can do, I can do better sort of match here, with Jade beating Kira Hogan, considering Sheeta's beaten Hogan the last couple of weeks. So that's why we went with that. Sheeta was ringside for this one, and Leah Rush was out there to basically be Jade Cargill's manager for this match, to try and prove that, Leah Rush is a good candidate to help Jade Cargill going forward. So Jade able to pick up an easy win. Adam Cole cuts a promo and Malachi Black ahead of tonight's main event. That's right, Adam Cole, Malachi Black in the main event tonight. We really wanted to try and kick up this rivalry into another gear ahead of Winter is Coming. So Cole, probably his first major singles match, and Malachi Black, real good chance to see where he's at. Is he going to be good enough to sustain that main event spot, or will he potentially slide down the card if his performances aren't there? Will Hobbs says Jake Hager continues to hide from him and he wants another rematch to prove that it wasn't a fluke that he beat him the first time. So 55 for this one. So Will Hobbs obviously beat Jake Hager a few weeks ago. Hager has kind of, turned his attention to the Dark Order. Will Hobbs is saying, hey man, what about me? I beat you, I embarrassed you, you said it was a fluke. Well, why don't we have another match to prove that it wasn't a fluke? 55 for that one. The Nightmare Family, Cody Rhodes and the Varsity Blondes teamed up to take on and defeat 2.0. So a chance to see where this Nightmare Family tag team is going to be at. How good can Cody Rhodes carry them? The answer is pretty good. Cody 85, Garrison 35, Pillman 37, Garcia 35, Matt Lee 38, and Jeff Parker 45. So pretty good from 2.0. But we gave Griff Garrison a win over Joey Janela, and ever since we've done that, it's really lifted his popularity to a point where he's actually half decent now. He's a lot closer to Brian Pillman Jr. than what he used to be. So that's really good for the team, because you don't really want one guy that's way ahead of the other. You really need both, as close together as possible, I feel. That creates a better team. Otherwise, you're more inclined to go, okay, well, I'd rather do a singles match than a tag match, because that's going to get a better performance. For example, the Brandy Rhodes and Red Velvet tag team. Red Velvet's so far behind Brandy that it kind of really makes it hard to push them as a team, because one is really, severely lacking behind. So that's why it's good that the Varsity Blondes are closer together now. So I feel like we might get a decent match, with the Nightmare Family. I feel like Cody can really carry them. Cody and Park will need to carry big time, but I feel like they're going to be able to do it. Speaking of Cody and Park comes out and taunts Cody and says that he has terrible teammates ahead of their big match. So basically looking at the Varsity Blondes and just making fun of them, like, really? These two guys? This is the best you've got? This is the best that America can produce? It's bit of a mocking segment there for Park. So 86 is good again. Bobby Fish and Orange Cassidy went one-on-one. Orange Cassidy picked up the win when Eddie Kingston got himself involved and cost Bobby Fish the match. So continuing that Kingston and Fish storyline. In the end, Bobby Fish and Orange Cassidy had no chemistry, so that didn't really pan out too well. But a 53 is still decent, and we did accomplish what we wanted to do out of the story. Dasha mediates a heated discussion between TJ and the Inspiration, so back and forth exchange between those two over the Tag Team Championships. Lance Archer got a win over Matt Hardy, 58 rated match. I actually thought this would be a lot better. Lance Archer 66, Matt Hardy 57. So we're trying to give Lance a really solid victory as we build him up to take on Adam Page. Lance Archer and Jake Roberts, they say that Adam Page has one last chance to relinquish the belt before his impending doom. That's right. It is not looking good for Adam Page if he does take this match. At least that's what Lance Archer and Jake Roberts think. Main event time. Adam Cole and Malachi Black one-on-one. 79 rated match. Adam Cole 77, Malachi Black 78. In the end, Adam Cole got a victory over Malachi Black, and he used the ropes for leverage, so he cheated his way to a victory Yes, it does. It's not good to have Malachi lose, but again, it's hard to. Who do you really have win in this one? Adam Cole's the newer guy. We're trying to really sustain Adam Cole as a main event talent. Malachi, I'm still not sure yet, but the performances were good. Both guys performing well. Malachi slightly edging out Adam Cole as well. So a win there. And also we needed to get the Elite another little win. That they kind of got embarrassed the week before. So this is their way of kind of firing back with some sort of win this week. We had a 71 rated show overall. Not bad. I feel like that could have been a little bit better. I guess we didn't have another high quality match on the card. And we only had one really solid talking segment. Alright, let's look at the ratings. So we had 862,000 viewers on TNT, so a little bit lower than the usual. NXT, 630,000 for their show. And have a look at this. Roman Reigns was on their card and actually got beat by Danny Burch and Tio Madden. So they loaned out Roman Reigns for a match because they're getting desperate for ratings. And he performed at 84 and they actually had him lose. So yeah, they deserved a bad rating for that. How do you have Roman Reigns lose? I don't know. And the Undisputed Era of Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. And so they're still going with the Undisputed Era. There you go. Even though two of the main guys aren't in the group anymore, they still have that tag team going. That just goes to show you how outdated the AI have NXT. So that's okay. But continuing on, as we said, so Roman Reigns got a chance to go there. Powerhouse Hobbs, Christian Cage thinks he's going to be a star. There you go. Big Swole's going to be a star. Well, unfortunately, she's gone. Alan Angels is going to be good, according to Cody Rhodes. Well, I haven't seen that yet, but we'll wait and see. Quick look at the popularity. So, obviously, Serena Deeb, she got a win over Big Swole. So, she's getting closer to that 30 mark in some areas, which is really good. That's some value there. Will Hobbs still trucking away, doing well. Orange Cassidy got a nice win, so he's getting close to hitting the 50 mark as well. Bobby Fish actually does lose a bit of popularity. That surprises me because Orange Cassidy, I thought, had higher popularity than Bobby Fish, but that's okay. I mean, I'm probably happy to have Orange Cassidy gain that popularity because, I think there's probably more value than Orange Cassidy going forward. So Eddie Kingston probably wouldn't have gained anything anyways out of beating Bobby Fish, so that is fine. We had Sting on the card, no change for him. Christian Cage, he's at 72, so I feel like that Sting and Christian Cage match should deliver pretty well. We mentioned Griff Garrison, he's around the mid-20s now for his popularity, which is good. Pillman Jr., pretty similar, mid-20s. In the Southeast, he's a little stronger with 35, so we may have to have Winterers coming in the Southeast if we are going to do the 4-on-4 match on that card, which I think we probably will. I've been saying that we're going to have the 4-on-4 already with the Elite and Punk's team, so maybe we have to do it the week before the England show as a lead-in to the England show. I think that probably would be more appropriate, I suppose. Maybe we have it as an elimination tag as well and kind of have Cody and Park as the last two guys in the match to fight it out. That could be a better way to do it as well. That way we can get rid of the fodder before we get to the two stars who can have a bit of a preview of what is to come. So that's kind of where we're thinking there as we move ahead. Okay, jumping into AEW Dark, and on the pre-show, Best Friends got a victory over the Factory. Kind of realized that I'm really not doing much with Best Friends, so I thought, well, let's just at least give them a win so they can get a bit of momentum happening. I think we might need to try for a renewed push for the Best Friends at some point. I think we probably need to get a bit more structure with the tag division, figure out who my top 4 or 5 teams are and really kind of elevate them into that spot. Figure out who the next kind of 4 or 5 are, and then who are my bottom teams, and try and really establish each team into those categories. I think that might be the best way to go about things, but something to think about anyways. Fuego lost to Denny Garcia as well, 30 rated for that one. Fuego 35, that's pretty decent, and Denny 33, so both guys, not bad. Leva Bates, she lost to Jamie Hayter as well, 28 rated match. Okay, to kick off AEW Dark this week, Ricky Starks starts listing 100 reasons why he's better than Jungle Boy until Jungle Boy interrupts. So Brian Cage is watching Ricky Starks' back, and Jungle Boy brings him back up as well, with Luchasaurus coming out to give him a helping hand. So really starting to kick up this feud with Ricky and Jungle Boy, as Ricky Starks firmly believes he's better than Jungle Boy, so we'll see. Big Swole and Diamante, Double Trouble, they lost to Brandy and Velvet, as Brandy was the best match, 43. We gave Red Velvet the pinning victory over Big Swole as we try to boost her popularity up. So the big problem that we have with Brandy and Velvet at the moment is that, well, basically Red Velvet is the lackey of the team, not enough popularity to really make her relevant. So we can get a few wins out of Big Swole and maybe someone else. We might be able to get her into the 30 plus popularity range, and then we can actually use Brandy and Velvet in a higher profile situation. The Dark Order, they mock the Inner Circle again. So they continue to make fun of the Inner Circle. 44 for that one. Not a strong promo, but we got a lot of members of Dark Order to get in here and actually get themselves involved. So hopefully we can get a bit of popularity change out of them. Eddie Kingston and Orange Cassidy teamed up. They took on Bobby Fish and Sean Dean. One is not like the others in this match, but we really couldn't find anyone to join Bobby Fish's team that had any popularity that I was willing to have them take a loss. So we had to have Eddie Kingston and Cassidy team up. I thought that would kind of work out well, considering the recent history with Cassidy and Bobby Fish, as well as Kingston. So I thought that would work well, but Sean Dean, a bit of the odd pairing here, but nonetheless, it gives us someone who can take the fall and give us a way out of this match. In the end though, 57 rated match, Cassidy was the best in the match. That surprises me. Kingston 55, Bobby Fish 54. So surprising that Bobby Fish was lower than Kingston, and surprising that Orange Cassidy was the best in the match. So there you go. Sean Dean was okay, 29 from him, so good opportunity to maybe boost him up a little bit. The portfolio say that if they can sign Jade Cargill, that will make them unstoppable. So pretty much if they can somehow manage to secure Jade's signature, that is going to put their group on the map. And I can't disagree with that. 44 for that one. Ruby Soho and Layla Hurst with a 48 rated match. Wow, okay. Nyla and Vicky ringside for this one, watching on as Ruby picked up the win. So Ruby 47 and Layla 37 for a 48 rated match is very, very good. And that will, of course, increase the Ruby and Nyla Rose situation. Christian Cage, he's got a promo here on Dark, and he talks about how he's always wanted to beat Sting. Now, I probably thought that these two guys had never wrestled each other, because I completely forgot about TNA when I thought about these two guys having a rivalry. So I completely forgot that they probably wrestled each other millions of times in TNA. So I guess when I did this segment, as I'm thinking about it right now, yeah, Christian's probably beaten Sting. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but you know, we could say that Christian's always wanted to prove that he's better than Sting. You know, we could always alter it, but nonetheless, you know, Christian wants to beat Sting and wants to do it in London. QT Marshall hypes up Anthony Ogogo. So despite the fact that, you know, Anthony Ogogo is kind of representing his country, QT's still supporting him. He's a member of the factory. He's going to support anything he's doing. So he's still happy to be his hype up man. Powerhouse Hobbs defeated Brandon Cutler. Quick 5-minute match, 48 rated, and a nice win by Hobbs. The Inspiration with a heck of a promo. They gloat about that recent win over Tay Conti. 57. That is a very strong promo by these two ladies. So that is certainly very tempting to kind of flick those championships back over to them and really run with them. But geez, they are performing quite well. They've been a really good acquisition for us. I think that's probably one of the key signings that we've made so far for this women's division. I just feel like it's such a stronger division at the moment, even though the popularity isn't there yet. But I just feel like we're really on the right path to kind of turning things around. FTR, they took on the Butcher and the Blade in our main event. FTR 76 and 75. Really strong performances. The Blade 33, the Butcher 35. Not bad from those two guys. Wanted to give them a win, give them a feature match here, and kind of keep their momentum building. You know, we mentioned earlier on maybe categorizing the tag teams. Well, obviously FTR would be one of those tier 1 category guys, so they are really good. But nonetheless, it gives us a 58 rated edition of Dark, thanks to probably to the Christian Cage promo. Pretty good, I'm happy with that. Okay, into AEW Rampage. And we have the Acclaim picking up a win over TNT as we continue to build the Acclaim's momentum. 33 rated. We open up the show with Team Punk. And look, I know you might be thinking, well, hey, Bryan Danielson's on this team. Why are we calling it Team Punk? Just an easy way to kind of sum up the team rather than trying to figure out something fancy. But all 4 baby faces in the ring, Punk, Danielson, Darby, and Malachi, cutting a promo. The last promo pretty much before they end up fighting the Elite next episode, which of course will be Winter is Coming. 96 for the promo. Very good, gaining some more storyline heat ahead of the big match. Best Friends, the Hybrid 2 and the Dark Order took on one another. Triple threat tag team match. Went with something different here. We haven't done a triple threat tag for a while. And the tier system got me thinking about, okay, here's 3 teams that are all teetering, you know, could they be tier 2, could they be tier 3? So I figured, why not have all these teams out here? Let's see who kind of performs the best here. We had Chris Jericho in commentary to continue the Dark Order storyline, and in the end we gave the Dark Order the victory when they managed to pin the Hybrid 2 and then Best Friends. So a win for the Dark Order in the end as we try and continue to move them up the card potentially. So yeah, not a bad match. Everyone was pretty similar, around the low to mid 40s, so no standout in the match. Chris Jericho got on the mic and he mocked the Dark Order for how ridiculous they are post-match. So pretty much Jericho cutting a solid 79 rated promo, trying to boost up the story, trying to make this interesting, and trying just to make a bit of a joke out of the Dark Order. You know, you could think of Jericho, he'd come up with a few zingers just to try and, you know, pop the crowd and try and put over how ridiculous the Dark Order are and how badly the Inner Circle are going to beat them when they had that chance. 79 for the promo. Next up, Christian Cage grabbed a win over Scorpio Sky. Didn't really want to sacrifice Scorpio here, but I figured, look, there's really no other option. I wanted to give Christian a really solid win. I guess a good performer, and Scorpio Sky is definitely that. Christian 73, Scorpio 43. Not too bad, 65 rated for the match. Pretty solid as we get Christian ready to face Sting. Jade Cargill says that she's far better now than what she was when Hikaru Shida beat her originally. So 43 for the storyline heat. Sorry, 43 for the angle as we gain storyline heat, which is good. You know, it's difficult with Jade in some sort of aspects. Her best asset is promos, but do we just keep having her fire promos at Shida? Shida obviously not a great promo. She struggles with the language a little bit, so it's hard to kind of have her back and forth on the mic, so it really just has to be Jade firing some shots at Shida. Our main event was Cody Rhodes and Kip Sabian one-on-one, 79 rated match. Really good. I figured, why not have Cody here in another main event scenario, have the champion on show again. He's kind of making Rampage, his show a little bit. He had the world title match recently. He's had some segments here on Rampage. I don't mind that. Having the world champion kind of all over Rampage, that kind of makes Rampage a little more important. That if you want to see the world champ, you got to tune into Rampage. I don't mind that. As long as he's obviously featured on Dynamite in some capacity. But a solid match, a 79 rated match, really good. As I figured a really good match here for this England storyline would be good. And a strong showing for Kip Sabian, hanging in there with the world champion, going 15 minutes with him, would probably be a good idea as well. So 79 for that one. Post-match, here's where it gets a little interesting. Nick Aldis comes from the crowd and lays out Cody Rhodes and joins Team England. So here we go. Nick Aldis joining Team England for a short-term deal as we try and boost up this English team a little bit, because obviously it was pretty weak. Nick Aldis was the best option that we could get. Obviously we had the NWA partnership. Why not use it? Cody and Nick have some history as well, so it all kind of ties in quite nicely, and I feel like this will be a solid addition to the company. And look, Nick Aldis, I think we might have probably a couple of appearances for him, so not too many, but we might try and capitalize on that if we can. So 71 for the rating of the show, not bad considering there was only one really good match, a second decent one. Overall, I'm pretty happy with that. So if we can keep Rampage around 70 plus, I think we'll be pretty happy. Alright, post-Rampage results, and of course, a solid rating, nothing too out of the ordinary, but 784,000 viewers there on TNT. Ethan Page wants a pay rise. He thinks he is worth 670. He's currently getting 450. Look, I agree. Ethan Page, he has a lot of talent. He's got a lot of potential. Let's bump him up a little bit and keep him happy. So let's continue on. I want to check out if there was any popularity change there for Nick Aldis. That was a pretty solid segment, 70 plus, and he was featured quite heavily in that. So there's a chance that he might get a little bit out of working with us for a while. So he definitely did. So he started at 52. Now he moved up a point to 53. So here's what we have to think about, with Nick Aldis. I think we've got 4 more appearances with him. So yeah, 4 appearances left. Do we have him remain strong and really solid heading into the pay-per-view? I think you have to. I think that would be a mistake to bring him in just to have him lose before you get to the big match of the pay-per-view. But maybe we use him in a match after the pay-per-view and have him put over somebody. Who would he put over? I don't know. It'd have to be someone out of the storyline. Could it be a Brian Pillman Jr.? That would be a big win for Pillman. That would be a big moment for him, a big win. So that might be the way to go. I don't know. So we'll have to think about what we're going to do there, because he's got 50 plus pop. Most likely, I feel like he'll end up with 55 once his storyline's over, because he's going to be a major player in it. So I feel like he could gain quite a lot. So, there might be a little bit there that we can squeeze out of him on his way out. And that would probably be the best way to go about it, absolutely. As we said, there is some definite changes happening right now with the roster. We're trying to kind of really figure out this mid-card. And it is a tricky mid-card. We've got a lot of guys who are trying to develop. Some guys, we're just trying to get featured. Sean Dean's an example of that. Lee Moriarty's another one. Denny Garcia. We're just trying to get some guys happening. And it's difficult, but, we've seen it with the women. It is possible. Eventually, you'll get there, but, it's hard. You have to kind of make that decision. Who am I going to sacrifice on this roster? Is there someone that I'm willing to take let them take a loss, to put someone over? And a lot of the time, the answer is no, because we're so desperate for talent, to get over and stay over. It's not easy to do that. And obviously, someone like Big Swole, for example, she's leaving the company. That gives us that affordability to do that. And speaking of, Red Velvet got the win out of that. So unfortunately, no real popularity gain there for Red. So we might have to try something a little bit different for her to get her over. But here's the deal. Next episode is going to be Winter is Coming. So we have to kind of think about which big matches we're going to execute. I think, potentially the England and American match would kind of make sense to do it on this show. But we're already having the 4-on-4. So we're going to probably push that back until the week before the English show. So that won't be next week, it'll be one after. So next, the main match will be the Elite versus Team Punk. And quite honestly, you could have that match take up 30, 40 minutes on the card quite easily. So there won't be that much more time to fill. You could execute Adam Page and Lance Archer. And I think you may as well. Why not? We've been talking about he's got one last chance before it's too late. Well, that might be the reason why, and we just go for it. Short-term feud, and just have Adam Page and Archer tear it up. Absolutely. Some other matches, we've already done Hobbs and Hager, so we could easily do the rematch there. Inner Circle and Dark Order probably would make sense if we kind of get it out of the way now. I don't think we want to have Jericho feuding with the Dark Order for too long. Just a short-term thing to kind of move them up the card a little bit, and also get Inner Circle back on track. And maybe even Bobby Fish and Eddie Kingston. There's a lot of heat there as well. We saw Kip Sabian. He had another solid match, this time with Cody. And yeah, again, a little bit of movement for him, so he moving up to 31. I don't have any long-term plans for Kip Sabian, even though he's pretty good. He's still a character that I'm a hell of a lot invested in. But, you know, he could prove me wrong. This is a great chance for him to really shine in this storyline. I think, obviously, Anthony Ogogo would be the star, but he's so green that it's going to be really, really difficult to get him over and keep him over because of how poor he is in the ring. It might nearly be too much of a challenge. It might not be doable. And, you know, the Dark Order, we talked about, are they tier 3, are they tier 2? Well, they are teetering on being 40 popularity. They're 38 at the moment and 37, so they're very, very close. And they did gain a popularity point this month, so they're in a good spot. They are close. They could go either way, so it really depends on how well they perform in the next couple of matches. But if they have a good match with the Inner Circle, maybe there is hope for them to kind of move up the card permanently. You know, because, you know, I think we could definitely use with another couple more solid tag teams, and I think the Dark Order probably the closest that we're going to be able to get in that scenario. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Royal Flush, 14 days away. And as I said, winter is coming. We're going to do that episode next. Lots of potential matchups we could do, but we know the big one is going to happen. The Elite and Punk's team, 4-on-4, no rules, throw it out the window. Should be a hell of a match. Looking forward to it. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hopefully winter is coming is good, and hopefully we have a solid show for next time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.